Hey guys, we're back again. It is Tuesday at 5:12. I got out a few minutes late today, which really isn't that big of a deal, but I'm kind of hoping that because of that, traffic won't be too bad. So we'll see. Updates. I think we're pretty good. If you kept a watchful eye, you'll see that I lied in yesterday's video and I didn't get the TikTok up, so my bad on that. Again, I'll put effort into getting it out tonight. Life kind of happened yesterday, nothing bad, don't worry, all good stuff. But life happened a little bit, and by the time I uploaded the YouTube video, it was pretty late and I was pretty tired and I went to bed. So that's my excuse. I was human. But yeah, I mean, like, good day today. Just me from the team in the office. So had my lunch and was outside, found my bench, was practicing, or I guess I should say I was going out of my way to practice what we talked about in yesterday's video, if you watched, which was just being present more, being in the moment more, enjoying the moment more. So that's kind of what I did throughout the day, and it kind of led to something cool. Again, something small during lunch that was cool. Yeah, just trying to, if my mind started wandering off, say thinking about like something that happened in the past or thinking about something concerning the future, I would try to first notice it, catch myself, stop, what I was doing, and just focus more on the here and the now. Just focus on the present. And yeah, I mean, it was cool. I like doing it today, so I think I'm gonna keep practicing it. But yeah, so I can expand on this a little more later, but before I do, I wanna kind of just give a quick mention to lunch today, and I'm outside, I'm on my bench, and I'm practicing just, being present in the moment. And so instead of thinking about, the half calf that I'm gonna make once I get back from my break, just noticing that thought and canceling it out and focusing more on, right here. And it was cool because immediately, you stop thinking about the coffee you're about to make and all this other stuff that you have to do during the second half of your work shift, and then like almost immediately you start hearing like the birds chirping, the summer birds, which I don't know about you guys, but that's one of like my favorite sounds, is just the summer birds chirping during the day. Notice all like the bees that I mentioned in the bush buzzing around. And what I also noticed, which was really cool, was I saw this really cool butterfly. It was a painted lady, if you know what that is. And that was pretty cool for me personally, because I'm not sure if you guys know this thing about butterflies, but they represent change. Because they go from caterpillars to butterflies. They go through change, and they kind of represent that as insects. Butterflies represent change. And people say that, when you see a butterfly, it means that there's good, positive change coming in your life. Say what you want about your thoughts and beliefs towards that kind of stuff, but I like it. I don't see the harm in kind of believing in stuff like that. I feel like it could only do good, that there's no con of doing it, so why not, right? So that's something that I heard, and I'm like, that's pretty cool. Again, what could go wrong if I just listen to it and believe that positive things are coming? So yeah, I mean, I stopped thinking about my midday coffee during my bench time and I just started enjoying the moment more and being present more, and it led to seeing, you know, a butterfly, which seems very insignificant with no context, but for me it was pretty cool, so I want to give that a quick shout out. But yeah, going off of that and this whole kind of continuing yesterday's theme in a way, I guess, because if I haven't mentioned it yet, this is gonna be another kind of wing it video, same thing as yesterday. Didn't really have any major thoughts I want to get across. Had a few good ones that I thought would be cool to mention, so, you know, hence I'm doing it, but nothing really too major to make a structured or an attempted structured video about. But yeah, so kind of going back into yesterday's topic of being present more, enjoying the moment, living in the now, as opposed to always in the future, the past, but never the present. So I mentioned a few videos ago that I like to wake up early before work and do some form of exercise first thing in the morning. And so today it was a run day for me. And I woke up this morning, and honestly kind of similar to Monday morning, but I woke up this morning and, you know, I was very tired, didn't want to get out of bed. And so, of course, if I don't even want to get out of bed, like, the last thing I want to do is, you know, go on a big run. So I wasn't very motivated to do it. But, you know, I'd eventually just muster up the courage to kick off the sheets, you know, get out of bed, get myself dressed, and get myself ready for this run. And yeah, so, like, you know, I'm just going through the motions, doing all that, and I get outside. And so for me, you know, going through the whole sports in school, you learn a lot about your body. I didn't give this any mention in my, like, hour-long video last week, but you also, you know, doing sports at a high level for 4 years, you learn a lot about your body, especially as you start to age. And I know that sounds crazy to say, but as you start to age and get into your 20s, you know, and you're not as invincible as you were, say, in high school. So you learn about how to take proper care of your body in every way possible physically. So for me, I'm a big stretcher. I've been through the ringer with all these nicks and bruises and, like, injuries and stuff in college. So body's been through a lot, and, you know, I've had to put a lot of time and effort into taking care of it during my sporting years, and it, you know, it just carries over into after school. Helps keep me feeling good and doing what I want, fitness wise, keeps me in good shape and allows me to do the stuff that I want to do. So I'm a big stretcher and preparing your body for whatever you feel like you're about to put through it. But so yeah, so this morning I find my way outside after I get myself ready for the run inside. And so before I'll back up another step. So when I'm getting ready for my run, and I guess just to be transparent with you guys and just share what I do, because what's the harm in that? But when I'm getting ready for my run, I hydrate with electrolytes, and then I'll do some static stretching, which is stretching just like where you don't move, you're just there, you know, just stretching, not moving at all. And then after that, I'll head outside, and before I even do a dynamic stretch, which is like where you're moving around and starting to, like, build up like a little bit of a sweat pre-run, doing those kind of stretches, before I even do that, I walk for 10 minutes just to start to warm the legs up a little bit and get the blood flowing down there. And just, yeah, because I've noticed that it helps me a lot. Say if I'm, like, mid-run and I just go static stretch straight to dynamic and then straight to run, my legs kind of, they feel, like, cold for, like, the first, like, mile. I feel like just, like, a little slower, just feel like I'm not ready, fully warmed up yet. So I found that just, you know, through experimenting with my body, that simply just walking for, like, 5-10 minutes, preferably 10, but anywhere between 5 and 10 minutes before I start, My dynamic stretches kind of helps just with kind of loosening up the legs a little bit and not having to wake them up during the first mile, so I can have I guess a better average pace, because I care about that stuff, because I'm still competitive, more of just with myself now, which isn't a bad thing at all. But yeah, so going back to being present, so when I make my way outside and I'm stretching and I'm walking around, and normally I would say be dreading going on this run, because they're never fun in the moment, but they feel really good afterwards, which is always why I keep doing it. But yeah, so I'm doing my walking before my stretching, before my run, and instead of thinking about the run, or like not wanting to do it, like waking up and not wanting to do it, or anything that wasn't like right here, right now, I caught it and I stopped it. And then once I stopped it and I started just soaking in the current moment, appreciating the now, similar to me hearing the birds and seeing the butterfly during lunch, literally, like, as soon as I did it, like I looked up, and it was still, the night sky was still out by the time I go outside, and I look up, and it's a super clear night sky, and the moon is huge. Well, it's not huge, it's a crescent moon, but it's a very bright, dazzling moon, and a bunch of stars are out. Like, there's always a lot of light pollution, just with the area that I live in, but it felt like there was noticeably less for some reason, I don't know. But I could see a bunch of the stars, and I was able to pick out some constellations that I never really see on a normal night. So that was really cool. And then also, I focused more on the present, and not only I saw the night sky, but I also just heard like the insects, like the crickets and stuff, the chirping, and all these other bugs that I don't know the name of. I'm not a weird bug guy, but all these other bugs making their noise. And turns out I was able to spot a cricket, like, just hanging out on a rock, like, right by me. I've literally never seen, like, a cricket at night, like, chirping before. I've heard it, every night that I notice it, at least, but I've never actually seen it with my own eyes. So it was cool. We just kind of backed up the idea that I had yesterday of just being in the present more, and enjoying the moment, and all that kind of stuff. So what that means is I'm just going to keep doing it, because I notice the difference, and I like the difference, and I don't know, in some way it just makes me feel good. I can't really put my finger onto what exactly, but I feel it, and it feels good, so I'm going to keep doing it. So yeah, it was just cool, practicing being in the moment, and like, immediately you notice, say, the stars, or the crickets, or the birds, or the butterflies. You just really tend to notice things a lot more, which I've already been getting better at in the first place since making these videos, is just noticing the smaller things. But it's cool how much more, say, you can notice the smaller things once you go out of your way to practice, being present more. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep doing it. I like how it's going after like a day and a half so far, so I'm just gonna keep doing it. Yeah, so it just makes me a little curious as to what else I'll notice, or what other good thing will come from it in the near future. Yeah, I guess since we're talking about running, and how I mentioned that I got out of bed even though I really didn't want to, we can transition into something about discipline, which I'm cool with. But yeah, I mean, I think discipline's pretty huge in achieving your goals, and doing what you want, and getting the result you want out of this whole thing called life. I think people mention it all the time, but I think one that really sticks out to me, I think it's from a Joe Rogan podcast. I forget who, I forget what episode. It was just a clip I saw. You guessed it, on TikTok. But yeah, this guy in the podcast just said that, like motivation, like it's there for maybe like 10% of the time that, you know, you're trying to do stuff, trying to make progress towards a goal. Motivation's only there like 10% of the time. The desire and the want to actually do the sucky stuff is actually there like 10% of the time. The whole rest of the time, the whole 90% of the time is the time that you don't want to do it, and the time where you really just need to force yourself to do it. And that's really just what discipline is. It's just forcing yourself to do what you don't want to do, because you know it's gonna get you one step closer to that desired outcome that you want, whatever that may be. And I'm a big fan of that. I've gone, again, I always keep mentioning sports because it was such a big part of my life, but yeah, discipline was something that I got pretty good at during my years in school. You know, just getting through all the sucky workouts we had to do on our own. It always made it easier when you're doing it with other guys. Pause, kind of chill, but like say you're at school and you're doing, say, like weight room workouts, or you're in the field with some guys, or hitting the wall, or whatever it is you're doing to make yourself better at your craft, at your sport. It makes it a lot easier when you're not doing it alone. But you know, it's inevitable, say when you're home for the summer or in any other scenario that I can't think of right now, it's a lot more difficult to stay on the straight and narrow when you're on your own. So a big part of that is, you know, it's not motivation, it's really discipline. And really, like, for me, like, discipline, it's not like a hardcore thing where, like, you know, you like mentally like abuse yourself if you don't do it. You build up the habit of doing something over like time. Like for me, it takes like a solid like 2 weeks of doing something I don't normally want to do, and it starts to feel like second nature, and I feel like honestly like off if I don't do it. But for me, like, discipline it's not like this big like hardcore thing where, you know, like I just said, like you're abusing yourself and, like, you know, absolutely forcing yourself to do it. But it's really just like you get to the point where you almost kind of act on like autopilot. Like, it really doesn't take much effort. You just, you know, go through the motions. And then I say go through the motions by, like, you know, go through motions of getting where you need to go. So say if I had to do like a field workout, just go through the motions of, you know, hydrating, stretching, driving over there. And then once you get there, then you're like, well, you know, I'm here. Like, there's no turn around. So like, let's do this thing and do it well, you know, because I'm here. But really, like, with time, it's never easy to start something for the first time. But once you get through that difficult first 2 weeks where everything's new and it's challenging and it's you know, like it's hard work to keep going. After the first 2 weeks, and it gets kind of ingrained to be like a habit, and 2 weeks isn't an exact time. Whatever it is that works for you is whatever it is that works for you, as with pretty much everything else in life. But for around the 2 weeks that it takes, after that, and it becomes a habit, and then it becomes like second nature. Like, you go on autopilot, and if for some reason you're not able to do what you want and work hard to get the result that you want, then, like, you know, if you don't do what you have to do that day, like, you feel off. And, you know, I don't have to do sprints. I don't have to do sprints anymore. But, you know, for me, it's like, say someone like reading, or I'll keep like a daily journal of all like the habits or like the things that I want to get done every day, and just like some other stuff that I write down every day. Like, say if I don't like read for, like, if I don't read or journal for one night, like, I already feel off. But if I don't do it for, say, like 2 nights in a row, then it really, like, I feel really off. And honestly, like, it's kind of weird to say, but like, I don't feel like myself. So yeah, it's all about, you know, going through the grind of the first 2 weeks, and then whatever motivation or discipline, whatever you want to call it, kind of turns more into a habit. And then from there, with the right habits in your life, you can pretty much set any goal you want. And so long as you have the right foundation, aka the mindset, the habits, the discipline, and the sprinkles of motivation that you'll get every once in a while, you know, I really do think you can do truly amazing things in life. And whatever your definition of amazing things are, it's up to you. For me, it could be like, I don't know, I don't want to get too deep into me, but for me, it could be one thing, what my definition of doing amazing things in life is, and for you, it could be totally different. But it doesn't matter at the end of the day, because we're both doing some really cool stuff, and we're both really happy with the life we lived. And that's what it's all about at the end of the day. You know, no one can judge you on if you think you lived a high quality life and you truly believe that deep down. No one can tell you anything, because they're not you. Everyone's different. It kind of reminds me of this one quote I heard on TikTok, of course. But this guy was saying that it was this guy, Higher Up Wellness. I really like his channel. So if he's watching this somehow, what up? Yeah, he said, it was like this tiny little clip that he said one time, and he said, if you can be just a very kind person and be nothing but nice to everyone all the time, and also just be jacked. He was like, if you can be like super nice to everyone and super jacked, like no one can tell you shit. And I think that's really cool. I'm not sure how to expand on that exactly, but I think that really kind of sums up everything that I'm going for in a way very well. If you can be a very kind human being to every other human being you encounter, while simultaneously also being a jacked and a shredded human being, no one can tell you shit. And good timing. I'm gonna end on that because I'm just about home. Another super short video today. Traffic wasn't bad at all, like I was kind of hoping for. But yeah, I'm gonna throw my motto out there because I keep forgetting to, but there's a lot more to it than you think. There's a lot more to life than you think. And there's a lot more of all the smaller stuff too that than you think. I'm also gonna say, because I keep forgetting to ask me questions, throw suggestions at me. I love that stuff. Saves my ass, you know, from having to do these wing it videos. Hopefully that'll change soon. Hopefully I'll have some good, bigger thoughts. But yeah, hope you guys had a good day today. I'll have this video up tonight, and I'm really hoping for real this time that I'll have the TikTok up by tonight as well. But yeah, happy Tuesday, and we'll talk soon.